Hello and welcome to Friday's Look North. Our top story tonight. The devastating cost of knife crime. A mum whose son died after being stabbed on a night out backs a campaign to stop violent crime.
It's like torture every day, it really is. You know, these people who are saying that they're carrying knives for protection, it's not. I don't believe it. You know, if you're carrying a knife, you're going to use it.
We'll find out what the police are doing to crack down on knife crime. Also tonight, a drive-through blood testing centre in Doncaster closed today. Some patients say that puts them at higher risk of illness. Right on cue, pupils from a primary school in York meet snooker star Mark Allen ahead of the championships this weekend. Name That Musical. We catch up with the cast and crew before the curtain rises on this popular production in Leeds.
And it was a cold but a fine start to the day across South Yorkshire. The chilly weather continues over the weekend. I'll be back later in the programme with all the details.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The mum of a man who died after being stabbed on a night out has said the pain of losing her son will never go away. Ryan Theobald was attacked in Doncaster in January last year. His mum is now backing a national campaign to tackle knife and violent crime. Over the past week, 280 knives have been seized in Yorkshire as part of Operation Sceptre. These included machetes, flick knives, axes and large kitchen knives. 119 arrests have been made for offences including possession of knives and illegal weapons, attempted murder and grievous bodily harm. Well, in South Yorkshire, the police also say they've carried out 141 stop and searches to tackle the issue of knife crime. Abby Jayola has the story.
I'm still in shock and I've still not processed it. I still think he's going to come through the door.
Lisa's son, Ryan, was with his friend Yanis when they were attacked in Doncaster city centre in January last year. Ryan was stabbed in the face and died at the scene. Yanis died later in hospital. 19-year-old Amrit Jagra is serving a life sentence for their murder. Ryan's death has devastated his whole family. Lisa has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and is having therapy alongside his two sisters.
It's been so hard lately because I'm just missing him more. And, you know, we was kept busy last year and now everything's calmed down. I just miss him so much. It's like torture every day, it really is. You know, these people who are saying that they're carrying knives for protection, it's not. I don't believe it.
South Yorkshire Police have just finished a week-long knife crime campaign.
Open your door! Open your door!
To target offenders and educate the public. They do this operation twice a year, but say their work to combat the problem is constant.
Over 200 knives have been handed in or seized. The statistics show that whilst knife crime has risen to the pre-pandemic levels, hospital admissions and violent assaults involving knives are going down slightly, so we're taking that as a positive.
Lisa has been backing the work South Yorkshire Police are doing, but she'd also like to see more efforts to keep teenagers away from violence.
Get them in these youth clubs, you know, get trained people in so they can have these conversations with the kids. Let the kids be able to open up to them. You know, snooker, pool, you know, just getting them to do something else instead of thinking about fighting all the time.
And she has this message for young people.
Please don't carry a knife. Just don't do it. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for. You're going to end up murdering someone or even getting killed yourself, and then your mum has to go through what I'm going through now.
Abby Jayola, BBC Look North, Doncaster.
Yes, it's a difficult watch, isn't it? Thanks to Ryan's mum there for sharing her story. Next tonight, people who use a blood testing centre in Doncaster have told us they're being put at risk by its closure. The drive-through centre at the city's football stadium shut for the final time just a few hours ago, as the NHS goes back to what it calls pre-pandemic arrangements. But patients with weakened immune systems say the change will force them to go to hospital instead, where they could pick up infections. Tom Ingle has more.
This is Deirdre, one of 1,500 people who come to Doncaster Stadium for a blood test.
What's your name, sweetheart?
Deirdre Benfold.
It's a drive-through service similar to those we all became used to during the pandemic. This one has not only endured, but become adored.
So having this service here has been magic, and it's a shame if they're putting something out there for the people that's working and they're taking it away.
When patients have had their blood samples taken, the team in here prepare them for dispatch. A driver comes to collect them 3 times a day. But that's all coming to an end. NHS South Yorkshire say they are returning to pre-pandemic arrangements, and patients should go to their GP instead, or they can go to the Doncaster Royal Infirmary, the Montague Hospital, or the Bassetlaw Hospital.
Sitting in a small waiting room, waiting to have your bloods done, while everybody else is in outpatients, waiting there, you're picking up their colds, the viruses, everything in the environment that's getting coughed out or whatever, sneezed out. So it is better for all to come here. I can sit in my car comfortable, I'm in the fresh air. That's the other main thing, is the fresh air.
Even putting aside consideration for health, others have more practical reasons for preferring the drive-through.
It just makes my life as a carer a lot easier. Also, I fetch your mother-in-law and my ex-mother-in-law regularly for the blood test for morphine. Well, I won't be able to do none of that because I just can't park up to help them in with the mobility.
Apparently it's down to cost, but it's £120,000 a year to run. It's a small amount of money in comparison with the billions that we're spending on the NHS. We've done everything that I can, and hopefully, even if it closes now, we'll continue to try and get it reinstated. If we can't get it reinstated here, there's park and ride sites across Doncaster which are very rarely used. Maybe we could use them. I mean, I think that would be a sensible thing to do.
Despite 5,000 people signing a petition against it, closure has gone ahead this afternoon.
All right, thank you.
Deirdre is among those disappointed to be turning back the clock to before the coronavirus changed the world. Tom Ingle, BBC Look North, Doncaster.
You're watching Friday's Look North. Still to come on tonight's programme.
We're feeling festive at the National Coal Mining Museum in Wakefield. There's a brass band, we've got a choir and the big man himself.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
But first, a man has been jailed for 7 years after stabbing a teenager with a curry house knife during a street fight. Mohammed Iqbal was killed when another man he knew, Peshwara Ghafoor, took the blade from a restaurant on Crooks Road in Sheffield in May of this year. Ghafoor was cleared by a jury of murder but found guilty of manslaughter after trial. 3 children have been injured after being attacked by a German Shepherd type dog in Leeds this morning. An 11-year-old girl was bitten on the arm, a 12-year-old boy was bitten on the leg, and a 15-year-old was hurt after being pulled over. The dog was seized and a woman has been arrested. Vigils will be held in Leeds and Sheffield tonight for health workers who've lost their lives during the conflict in Gaza. Organisers say almost 400 medical personnel have been killed while trying to provide aid. Yorkshire health professionals will gather in their uniforms this evening and hold a minute's silence to remember their colleagues. A leisure centre in Huddersfield will close next week, blaming uncontrollable increases in energy and staffing costs. The Health and Fitness Club at the John Smith Stadium will shut down next Thursday. It's run by Kirklees Active Leisure, which says the site is being run at a substantial loss. The company says the members and people who have swimming lessons there will get an email outlining their options. Now, Moor Market in Sheffield is celebrating its 10th birthday today. The building replaced the former Castle Market in 2013 and opened up on the moor. It's now home to more than 90 independent businesses and attracts over 10,000 visitors per week. The market has become a community hub, housing warm spaces, clinics and supporting local people. Sounds good? Now on to sport. The weekend is nearly here and a busy weekend ahead, I believe, Sally.
Yeah, lots to talk about tonight, Amanda. We start with snooker because the UK Snooker Championships start tomorrow at the Barbican in York. And this morning, the defending champion Mark Allen visited a primary school in the city that's just around the corner from the competition venue. A few of the children at Fishergate Primary were already snooker fans, but many had never had the chance to play before. But all of them had good questions to pose to the snooker superstar in their midst.
It's not every day that a champion of champions comes to school for a sport masterclass. But today, Mark Allen, defending UK snooker champion, is at Fishergate Primary School in York to face some tough questions.
How do you keep a straight face even when you lose?
That's a very good question. Sometimes you don't. You have to try. It's hard because we want to win, and sometimes you just have to say your opponent was better than you that day and give credit, and then when you go home you can be angry at home.
How did you get so good?
Practice, always practice. So yeah, I played 10 hours a day when I was younger. It's not often we get the chance to do stuff like this, so it's nice to be involved and just to see the enthusiasm on the kids' faces. Though I remember what it was like whenever I first started, and these people, they've probably never seen a snooker table before, so just to see how excited they were to try, it brought back a lot of old memories for me.
What a performance from Mark Allen!
Mark Allen does have fond memories of York. He won here last year against Ding Junhui, who he'll face again in the first round tomorrow.
Look, it's the toughest draw I could have got, but he won't be excited either because he knows obviously I beat him here last year. I've obviously won last week. It's just a matter of two really good players going at it, and may the best man win, whoever plays well on the day.
And whatever happens over the weekend, after today, there are a few more young snooker fans here in York.
It felt like he wasn't famous because he was just here, but then again I know he's famous, so it's really hard to explain it. Very special. It's a one in a very big chance to play with someone as good as him.
Literally, it's just a perfect thing. Just him coming in, answering questions, us getting to play some snooker. It's just amazing, really.
Everybody say snooker!
And live coverage of the snooker begins on Saturday at 1:15 on BBC One. Now in football, the Championship gets back underway with a bang tonight, a Yorkshire derby between Rotherham United and Leeds United. Leeds' push for a return to the Premier League is gathering momentum, but the Millers are still in transition after the sacking of manager Matt Taylor a fortnight ago.
It's always a bit difficult to prepare for a team who's just had a change on a crucial position, on the manager position. So if I'm honest, this preparation is really tricky.
I know there's a search ongoing for a new manager, which is great. But with regards to how long we'll be in this position, I'm not quite sure. I'm enjoying it. We're all enjoying it. We're making the best of it. So we're happy to be in place as long as it takes to find the right person for the job.
Have you got interest in the job yourself, Wayne?
Yeah, of course. An opportunity to manage at a championship level. I think anyone in football would relish that opportunity.
Meanwhile, the Women's FA Cup continues this weekend, though only one of our teams has survived through to the second round. Leeds United women travel to play at Darwin on Sunday in a tie they're favourites to win. Paul Ogden reports.
Though underdogs for the tie, hosts Darwin will nevertheless be pleased to be welcoming Leeds United women for their FA Cup Round 2 match on Sunday. Like their male clubmates, Leeds have a tendency to bring a substantial crowd of their own away fans, with similar demands on their players.
Leeds fans are hugely passionate in men and women's football, but their fan base has only ever grown for us, which is good. The takeover that happened this year is positive. I think it can only bring us good things. The future looks bright for anyone who's young now at Leeds United. Not quite me, but I think everyone else has got a good future ahead.
The stock of career experience inside the Leeds United camp shouldn't be underestimated. Sarah Danby, a goal scorer in the last FA Cup round against West Didsbury and Chorlton, played in the Women's FA Cup final in front of 20,000 as an 18-year-old for Sunderland.
Everything's sort of on the up for women's football, and it's really good to see. You know, I see little girls now who can grow up thinking I can make a career out of it, which when I was young I never thought that would be a thing, so it's just really good to see.
This competition is magic. It brings out the underdogs to play the big dogs, and that's exactly what we did last year.
Namely, against Arsenal of the Women's Super League, who could be back as a potential opponent if Leeds United women can stay in their FA Cup for a couple more rounds. Paul Ogden, BBC Look North.
Now, the former Leeds Rhinos star Kevin Sinfield has been talking about his latest gruelling fundraising challenge for motor neurone disease. From next Friday, Sinfield will run 7 ultramarathons in 7 days in 7 locations across the UK, all inspired by his mate Rob Burrow, who has MND and wore the number 7 shirt for the Rhinos. Kathy Killick reports.
It was a moment few of us will ever forget. Kevin Sinfield stopping to carry his friend Rob Burrow over the finish line of the Leeds Marathon in May. The bond between the former Rhinos teammates is as inspiring as it is unbreakable. And Kevin is unstoppable in his efforts to help all people with motor neurone disease.
No excuses. I'll throw myself at it. I'll give it my best, and the MND community don't have a choice. And you know, I can think of 1,000 reasons why we shouldn't run and start the 1st of December, but it's important we go again, no matter the circumstances. And yeah, we get a choice, but the MND community don't.
We're used to seeing him pounding the streets, notching up another punishing challenge, but December's feat will really earn him his Christmas pud. Leeds, Cardiff, Birmingham, Edinburgh, Dublin, Brighton and London will all play host to his daily 27-mile runs. That's a marathon and a symbolic extra mile.
The last 3 years and the challenges we've done give you some muscle memory and understanding of what's coming. So, but yeah, you can't factor in for a serious injury, but there's some risk with all of this, but it's worth it.
The motivation will come from thinking about Rob, the support of the crowds and fantasising about food.
Well, the great thing is, when you've run a marathon, you can eat what you want. Previously, it's been all around a nice hot cup of coffee and a bacon sandwich. However, they've been morning marathons. These ones down to midday, so I suspect they will be around junk food. Because it's about calories, we've just got to get food in, so it means we can eat what we want for a week.
Dirty fries all round then. Kathy Killick, BBC Look North, Leeds.
Making me hungry, that. We'll have coverage of the challenge next week, Amanda.
Lovely, thank you very much, Sally. He's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing what you can do next.
Absolutely. Right, OK, some showbiz now. Around 40 children and teenagers will be treading the boards in Leeds tonight as Oliver opens at the Playhouse. One of those who auditioned was 11-year-old Felix from Penistone. He's playing one of the 3 artful dodgers. Well, in a moment, we'll talk to Felix and the associate director of the show. But first, consider yourself in for a treat as we take a look at Felix in action. And there you are, Felix. Nice bit of footwork there. Now, I believe nearly 1,000 children went for this part. Congratulations. You must be thrilled.
Yes, really thrilled. It's an amazing thing to have to do.
Absolutely. How are rehearsals going so far?
They're going really great, yeah. So, open tonight. So, we've done all tech, all rehearsals, going amazingly.
And which is the hardest, the acting or the singing or the dancing?
I think the hardest part is when you have to do all 3. So, in all like the musical numbers, like Consider Yourself, Pop Out, all them, I think they're the hardest things to do, especially because there's so many people in them numbers. It's like really tricky.
No problem with that multi-skilling. And Eleanor, you've been looking at the overall picture of the show and the theatre in the round. That's quite unusual, isn't it?
It is quite unusual for the Playhouse. We've only done it once before.
Just explain to us what that means.
Yeah, so it means that the audience are on all sides. So at the Playhouse we have 750 seats on one side and 200 on the other. And yeah, it's just going to be really exciting to be able to see the show from lots of different angles, and each seat will be like an individual experience.
And how are things going on behind the scenes? Because obviously we see all the wonderful actors, but there's so much work, isn't there, goes on behind the scenes?
There is so much work. We've got such a massive team. You know, there's 57 performers in total, but, you know, as well as that, there's lighting, sound, all the stage managers. So there's loads and loads of people working on the show, working really, really hard. But it really is incredible. It's a real spectacle.
And Felix, how are you getting on? Because you're only 11. I can't think of many 11-year-olds who could confidently go on the stage like you're doing.
Yeah, I'm getting on great. I think it's just the support that we get from the creative team and other fellow actors.
And how are you juggling it with schoolwork?
So when I'm not in rehearsals, I'm in school. School are like providing like work what I've missed, like talking me through what the lessons that I've missed, so it like doesn't affect any like grades or stuff.
And you've got a bit of experience under your belt, haven't you? This isn't your first production, is it?
No, it's not.
Tell me what else you've been doing.
So I did The Snowman. I was the boy. That was my debut. I did that in London. And then the year after, I did Nativity in Birmingham Rep. And then a couple of months after, I did Winnie the Pooh.
Wow.
That was on tour, so I did 4 venues.
So it's a total privilege that you're bringing it back to Yorkshire for us this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say best of luck, but I'm not allowed to say best of luck, am I?
Got to say break a leg.
Break a leg, Felix. I'm sure you're going to do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Sounds great, doesn't it? Now, it's not even December yet, but Yorkshire is already brimming with festive cheer. And if you're looking for things to do with the kids, we've got plenty of ideas for you. Tonight, we're in Wakefield at the National Coal Mining Museum, where Christmas has arrived 140 metres underground, no less. Nicola Rees is there for us now. Nicola!
Oh, I'm sorry, Amanda, we can't broadcast from all that way down underground. You'll just have to trust me that that is where the grotto is. We're at the National Coal Mining Museum, and it's a really lovely atmosphere, even though it's freezing cold. You can hear the brass band just playing gently behind us. We've had lots of mulled wine and mince pies, and hundreds of children have been queuing to see the big man. More on that in just a minute. Sean, you've organised these festivities. Well done. How's it going?
Oh, it's brilliant tonight. A few hundred people on site, and Christmas has arrived at the National Coal Mining Museum.
It's must be quite unique, I think, mustn't it, to have a grotto in a coal mine so far down. How did you get there?
Oh, it's 140 metres down a shaft, so if you can imagine, Blackpool Tower's 140 metres, that's how deep you're going. We're the only place in England where you can see Santa Claus underground.
I presume you need a hard hat, you need to go down the lift shaft. It must be magical.
Yes, you need your hard hat, you need your cap lamp on to see where you're going, so it's really magical in that grotto.
There's lots of other things going on over the weekend. Victoria, you're doing something rather special.
Yes, we've got a lantern parade on Sunday, so it'll all kick off from about 4 o'clock. There will have been other things going on before then, but we've been working with loads of different communities. We've worked with loads of school groups, guides, brownies, our local home educators, and other groups that we have working that come into the mining museum.
Lovely. I love the canary. Does he make any noises?
Oh, he does, yes.
Oh, I'll let you... Oh, I can hear him. I can hear him.
So he's one from last year. We've got 4 new ones that will be out on Sunday. Good luck with it. Thank you.
We are on the move, but on Sunday there's going to be a lantern parade. There are going to be absolutely hundreds, all shapes and sizes, all colours, made by brownies, scouts, school children. So we're going to follow down here now and just see where this goes. There's a queue. Still a queue. They've been coming for hours of children. I don't know what all these children are queuing up for. Look at all these beautiful lights. Now this is a magical tunnel that our cameraman Mark has struggled slightly with squeezing down, but here he comes. Keep going, Mark, you can do it. And just around this corner, look at all these lovely children. Who are you waiting to see?
Santa.
Oh, what's on your list?
So we're doing like a treasure hunt. So we like collect all of the elves and like.
Amazing. Let's see who's around this corner. Oh, can we interrupt? Can we pop through? Hello, Santa.
Hello.
You're live on Look North.
Ho, ho, ho. Having a good Christmas. How is everybody?
We're all very well. Have the children been good this evening?
All these children are very, very good. Everyone we've had, right, they've been brilliant. They're all wanting fantastic presents for Christmas. Right, and they're all looking forward to Christmas, aren't you? Right. What we're going to be doing at Christmas.
There's just one more thing to say, that if you are on the naughty list, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a way down to the grotto. It's down here. I don't know if you can see that down there.
That's not very nice.
But that is the way down to the grotto if you've been on the naughty list.
Right then.
It's on all weekend and it's completely free, so that's good news, isn't it?
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Nicola. And naughty children, you have been warned. And is there no end to Father Christmas's talents there?
She is so mean.
I know. Well, yeah. Up on the roofs and down underground.
Absolutely.
It gets
is that
everywhere.
our first live Father Christmas on Look North in all these years?
And it didn't break up. Well, it broke up a little bit.
Nearly. We nearly lost her.
Yeah.
Lovely. The weather's been lovely. Very much more like winter, even though we're still in autumn officially. It's the first cold snap of the season, but it has been really windy along the coast, gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour. So choppy seas out there along our coastline today. But we've had some sunshine inland, and it hasn't been quite so windy. A lovely end to the day as well. And you know what they say, red sky at night, shepherd's delight, and that's true because it looks like it's going to be a nice day tomorrow. You can keep your pictures coming into the Weather Watchers page, or you can send it on social media, on X or on Instagram as well. So yes, the cold snap continues tomorrow, very similar to today, except it's going to be less windy. So breezy, yes, but not as windy, particularly along the coast. Some sunshine and the odd coastal shower through the morning. And then as we make our way through into Sunday, there'll be a lot more cloud around pushing in ahead of this weather front, which will bring outbreaks of rain through Monday morning. Tuesday and Wednesday don't look bad, and it does look like we'll keep the chilly weather with overnight frost right the way through next week and possibly beyond as well. So this is the radar. Not a lot to show you on here, but you can just make out a few showers just clipping the North York moors and the coast. And we could continue to see a few of these, although I think they'll tend to die out through this evening, only returning again later in the night. Generally, it looks dry with clear spells. The breeze will ease down. A widespread frost. There you go. You can see a few of those coastal showers returning later on in the night as temperatures fall back inland to around freezing, if not a little below. Let's have a quick look at those high water times then. In Scarborough at 1:55 and then again at 2:35. So tomorrow, a frosty start to the day, a few showers through the morning for the coast, but generally a lot of dry and bright weather with some sunshine. It won't feel quite as cold with temperatures up at around 6 or 7 degrees. On Sunday, a cold, cloudy day to come. Amanda.
Oh, we must wrap up warmer. Thank you very much, Keely. That is it from us. Do have a lovely weekend, whatever you have planned, and we'll be back with the latest news and weather just after 10 o'clock. Hope you can join us all then. Goodbye.